Good. Good.
Any differences for a game like this as opposed to normal?
No, not what I mean as far as what we do. No, we went through what we need to focus on with ourselves, very light. Went through some things with them. Obviously, they're a unique matchup and a really difficult matchup. And so there's certain things you certainly have to emphasize a little more.
Their core has been relatively the same the last couple of years, but obviously Boogie Cousins is a different wrinkle. What have you seen with his addition to their group?
You know, I think every team goes through their ups and downs of a season, but they look like they're playing at an elite level right now. And I think that anytime you add a guy like that, and he's on a minutes restriction still, or at least he's playing limited minutes, it just looks like everybody's got a little bit more bounce in their step. And so they're tough. And I don't know that I've seen them play better during any regular season stretch since maybe the year they won 73.
How was Kyrie and also Al today?
Great. Yeah, you have to. First of all, you have to run good offense. You have to get good shots. You get beat in transition. You get beat on leak outs. You get beat at the rim. You're in trouble. It opens up everything else. So you got to get good shots. You got to be opportunistic, but also poised when your opportunities aren't there. And then on the other end of the court, you just have to be as solid as possible. We always talk about the threes make everybody say ooh and ah, and they're going to get some of them, but they just kill you with layups. And if you give up layups, it just opens up the whole rest of it.
With everything that you guys have been trying to accomplish over the last few years, how much are they sort of the standard for what you guys are trying to do?
Over the last few years, they're the standard for the whole NBA. But it's not about style of play. It's just about they've put together a great group that fits each other well, that plays great together, that has played great defense and great offense. And, you can't emulate them necessarily because their guys are unique in what they do. You have to play to your strengths as a group. And there are some things defensively that you take and that you look at as something that you may apply to your team, some things offensively, but there are some things that don't fit too. So, but as far as like a standard for the league, they've clearly, in 3 out of the last 4 years, being champions and being on the doorstep of the fourth before Kyrie hit that shot, it's pretty incredible.
It seems like you've used Marcus as a screener for Kyrie more often lately. What kind of encouragement do you do that more often?
I think obviously sometimes it's matchup based. A lot of teams switch that, some teams don't. Marcus can then either pop and play in the seam or roll and play out of the seam and pass or rebound. And Marcus has a good sense for the game. So even though he doesn't play that position a lot, it's something that he's very good at. But it's much more based on who he's being guarded by than necessarily it's him.
Kyrie got another All-Star to start.
It's amazing.
Is this the best that you've seen him play this year? I mean, is this year the best that you've seen him play?
I don't think that's fair to say that about him. He's been so special so long. I think he continuously gets better. And yes, you want to certainly say that, but it's the same guy that gave us 41 in Game 3 of playoffs a couple of years ago, or Game 4. He's an incredible player. Hats off to him for getting another All-Star game. Six All-Star games by the time you're 26 is a joke. It's pretty special. And, it's not easy for these guys to, we talk about this all the time, to put on that cape every day. And, when you're that consistent and that good for that long, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of focus, and hats off to him.
Tatum came fourth for forwards and voting. What does that say about?
What is a forward?
Well,
what is that like the front court?
He finished behind Giannis and Embiid, and yeah, it's the front court.
Yeah, I think Tatum's a really good player that has a great upside, and has already been obviously a guy that's achieved enough to be in those conversations, which is positive. Thank you.